Every now and then, I think the market makes such a colossal misjudgment, and all you can do is treat it as a fabulous buying opportunity. Consider the case of VMware. It's a company that gets its start as a maker of virtualization software. Don't worry, I'm going to explain that too. Letting you run multiple virtual machines on a single server, and has now become an important cloud infrastructure play. On just last night of November, VMware reported an amazing quarter. The company blew away the estimates, gave you better than expected guidance, yet the stock is trading about where it was before the quarter. Why? Because these guys had the misfortune of reporting right before the big indiscriminate tech sell-off. People suddenly wanted out of all things cloud, including VMware, even though it's just giving you stellar numbers. Now, the sell-off's over. We had a little bit today, but the market's getting more rational. Could this be the time to buy? Let's take a closer look with Sanjay Poonen. He's the Chief Operating Officer of VMware. Learn more about how his company's doing, where it's headed. Mr. Poonen, welcome back to Mad Money. Good to see you, Sanjay.
Pleasure.
How are you been?
Good to see you. Let me first say happy holidays to you and your viewers.
Insane. Thank you so much. Okay. People are aware that without your company, you really can't figure out how to get from here to the data center. And there are other people who actually believe that the data center is slowing. So could you set us straight, please?
We'd be happy to.
Okay.
And we'll get to mobile devices in a second.
Okay.
But let me give you the way in which you can very simply understand the data center. I'll use a metaphor. It's like baking a cake. And when you bake a cake, you got flour, eggs, sugar, maybe some icing. A data center is made up of 4 core elements: compute, storage, networking, and a layer of management.
Okay.
And we've pioneered that. We call that the software-defined data center. Now, when you take that into the cloud, it's a lot more, not as easy because you have built applications on top of that. And rewriting those applications are not very, easy. In some cases, if it's a new app that's built cloud native, you can do that. We help those applications very nicely and seamlessly move over, which is why we built this partnership with Amazon.
Okay, so a lot of people felt, when you go through the research, almost everyone to a T felt that Amazon was out to destroy you, that they were the Death Star like they have to retail. And then you hugged it out. How is that possible?
So this was kind of like I described a Berlin Wall moment, where you had Gorbachev and Reagan coming together, and everyone said, oh my gosh, it's good for world peace. It's the same way for customers. Right. We do what's right for customers. Okay. What customers wanted us to get the best of both worlds. It shouldn't be a choice between the private cloud where VMware is king and the public cloud where AWS is the leader. We want the best of both worlds. So now you could imagine an application built on top of that cloud foundation, compute, storage, networking, being able to seamlessly take a bridge right into AWS, and like we talked in our last show, expand or contract the data center elastically. This is what we brilliantly innovated with them.
Okay, so expand elastically to my devices, no matter what device?
That's another interesting part of our business. So I've got here a phone, my Android phone, my iPad Pro, you've got your iPhone there, and a wonderful Dell Windows 10 laptop. This is the world we live in. Why? Because people want to work at the speed of life. You start off at home, you've got a phone. You might be then on a tablet. When you get to work, you have a laptop. And typically the world today is Apple, Google, and Microsoft 10 devices. We're the only company that can manage and secure and deploy apps, whether it's coming from the data center or in the cloud, securely on these devices. That's our end-user computing business, a business that's gone very well for us, and we had a good quarter also in Q3.
We had an amazing quarter. Okay, so now, I am a retailer, all right? I know that I got to compete against Amazon, but I also need Amazon Web Services because it's considered to be one of the best. I call you and I say, okay, I got to be on the cloud, all right? And what do you do for them?
So, like we've always said to a customer, you pick the public cloud that you want. We're not going to come in here and tell you which is the right one. You make that choice. But once you've made that choice, we can help you optimize your data center, because the private cloud on-premise isn't going away.
Right.
So with our partners like Dell and EMC, we allow you to make that software-driven data center even more efficient. But as you think about the cloud, whether it's AWS or other clouds that you're using, we can help you build that bridge there. And then invariably, every one of the retailers now are modernizing the store with these devices.
Right.
Because these phones become a lot easier than these old ruggedized devices that were the way in which people worked in the past. Right. They're fitting them with iPads or with Android devices. And this is the future of how we think we can make the entire world have any app on any device.
Okay, because you're of connection, we explain the ownership with EMC and Dell, I might say, look, I'm HP. How can they help me?
Amazing question. In fact, at VMworld, we announced a partnership with HP. Now, 2 of the biggest 3 manufacturers, Dell and HP, are betting on VMware, AirWatch, and Workspace ONE to manage their devices as a service because we're the best technology. And the fact of the matter is that, any company, whether it's HP, whether it's Dell, whether it's Apple, whether it's Samsung, we exist, VMware, because we're a Switzerland type of company. We have no agenda. We're not in the device business. We're not in the hardware business. We're not in a particular public cloud. And we can serve the best interest of any company, depending on their cloud, on their hardware, or their devices.
Well, wait a sec. I mean, let's say I've got all my information here. And someone hacks me. I mean, why am I secure?
So in the old days, okay, and you have Chris Young coming on later on from McAfee. Actually, he's an ex-VMware guy. All good talent starts at VMware.
Diane Green.
So we know a thing or two about all of these things because it typically is a security or a virtualization type of problem. In the old days, you use things like antivirus. In the world of mobile, it's a new technology called Unified Endpoint Management, where VMware is now the leader. We acquired a company 4 years ago called AirWatch, and that applies now as a very simple way to be able to manage and secure these in the cloud. And we do this better than anybody else.
Well, I've got to tell you, we are in a moment where tech is going down. But I've said VMware is the way that if you want to play this whole trend, it's got to be you.
It's like the Eagles.
Oh, thank you so much. That's Sanjay Poonen, COO of VMware. BMW, right now, tech's taking a header. That's your opportunity. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.